Finally, what felt like an eternity, the Dolphins finally get a dub this season. Only the third win of the entire season, and what it felt like an eternity. This was a break that we really needed, bro. It was so needed. I don't even have to explain why it was needed, okay? This was a pretty good defensive game. We given up 15 points. Sure, we given up 15 points. However, the Dolphins defense did their job for one reason. Keep the Rams out of the end zone. And they did that. They did that. All 15 points from the Rams came from a field goal. It came from the field goal from the Los Angeles Rams. They are, let me see if I can calculate. They are 5 for 6. They are 5 for 6 in field goals. All of them were made by a rookie, Joshua Carty. He has made a 34-yard field goal to make it a 10-3 game. He has made it a 55-yarder that would conclude the halftime. In the third quarter, he would try a 52-yarder, but that was a false start, and it would be a 57-yarder, and that ball went wide to the right. Joshua Carty in the fourth quarter scored 3 field goals. A 53-yarder that would start off the fourth quarter. Not able to get to the end zone is a 22-yard chip shot. And trying to have much clock as they needed to try to get the touchdown, they failed to do so. In an effort to get the onside kick, they had the 31-yarder. And that's 5 for 6. That's all the field goals from the Rams. What about the Dolphins? What about the Dolphins, though? The first drive on the game, it is a promising start. But like most of the games, all promises came to a crashing halt. This one was different. Tua passing it to Waddle for 19 yards, 1st and 10. Losing 5 yards is Achane with the pass, 2nd and 15. Tua pass short to Achane. 3rd and 13. 3rd and 13, pass deep left for Waddle for 36 yards. Amazing play, and he was so wide open too. 1st and 10, there was a little trickery to Malik Washington for 18 yards, and he scores to make it 7-0 game for the Dolphins. All PATs are converted, by the way. Malik Washington gets his first career touchdown. Congratulations, Malik Washington, you've earned it. The next drive, for the Rams, it's been an all defensive quarter since that first one. 3 and outs, including a 10-yard deficit tackle from Zach Sealer. And welcome back, Zach Sealer. It was beautiful. It was defensive. It was a 3 and out. Dolphins also 3 and out. It was a 3 and out as well because all incomplete passes. Rams trying to come out with also 3 and outs. But Matthew Stafford, their quarterback, got sacked by Chop Robinson all by himself. That was a 10-yard loss. A nice sack there by Chop Robinson. The next drive for the Dolphins, unfortunately, ended in a punt. Achane goes up left for 4 yards, 2nd and 6. Achane got nothing out of this next run. 3rd and 6. They would be a Mostert first down for 9 yards for a pass. Jalen Wright losing 3 yards, and that's a tackle from Bryant. 2nd and 13, pass short for Odell Beckham Jr. I didn't think Odell Beckham Jr. played bad in this game. I think he was pretty solid. I'll explain that why. 3rd and 7, that pass was incomplete, and there will be a punt. This next Rams drive, Matthew Stafford shorting it to Atwell for 6 yards, 2nd and 4. Matthew Stafford passing it to Karoom for 7 yards. 1st and 10, Karoom goes up for 5 yards. 2nd and 5, Kareem goes up the middle for 4 yards. There'll be a penalty on Los Angeles for a legal formation. So it'll be a 2nd and 10. Kareem goes up for 3 yards. 3rd and 7. That pass was tipped, and it was picked off by Walker. He was picked off by Walker. He picks off Matthew Stafford, and it was tipped. I forgot who it was. It might have been Sealer, but either way, the ball ricocheted up, and it was intended for Robinson, but Walker was able to intercept that ball, and we start at our own 46. Not bad. Achane to start off with the 15-yard run that goes all the way to the LA 39. And the next run is a 2-yard rush for 2nd and 8. That will end the first quarter. 2nd and 8, Jalen Wright goes up for 5 yards. 3rd and 3, Tua passing it for Waddle. That pass was incomplete. There will be a field goal from Jason Sanders, and he nails the 50-yarder. So it's 10-0 Miami at this point. Rams' next drive ended off in the punt. Matthew Stafford for Cooper Kupp for 7 yards. Matthew Stafford goes up for Noska. I butchered it. I apologize. But he goes up for 5 yards. Williams goes up for nothing. All this is no huddle, too. Williams next. Cooper Kupp for 3 yards, 3rd and 7. Matthew Stafford gets sacked by Calais Campbell. So he punts it away. Achane then losing 4 yards off a rush. 2nd and 14. Passing intended for Waddle, but it was picked off by Rose Boom. Rose Boom picks off Tua, and Tua did not do a smart thing. So the pass was bad, right? That was already established. The pass was not good. But he did something that I feel like is just as bad as a bad pass. He lunges in like this, putting himself in danger like that to try to stop a run. What in the world are you thinking? Get out of the way. I know you're trying to stop them, but let your teammates do the work. You've gone through at least three concussions. Are you really going to sacrifice yourself again to do that? That is not smart. I'm sorry, it's not smart. So, the Dolphins throw an interception. But immediately the next play, the Rams, first off, also there was a penalty on the Rams for illegal blindside block that will bring them back 15 yards. But immediately the first play of their drive, Williams goes up for 4 yards, right? He fumbles the football. Forces a fumble, and it was recovered by Kendall Fuller. So immediately after the interception, they fumbled the ball, and the possession goes right back to the Miami Dolphins. That's crazy. But wait, it gets even crazier. As much as it pisses me off, another fumble. This one, Tua did not throw the football, and he was sacked, and he lost the football by Verse. And Verse recovered the football to bring Los Angeles in field position. And they got close. They were not able to get to the end zone, though, as that was their first of many field goals I've already talked about. The Dolphins' next drive, Hill goes up for 6 yards, 2nd and 4. Achane for 6 more yards, that gives him the first. Tyreek Hill gets 5 yards. 2nd and 5, Tua just scrambling back, and the O-line just could not protect him, and Tua was too slow to react, and he got sacked by Young. 15-yard sack. Terrible. That is terrible. And then 3rd and 20, passing it to Achane for 8 yards, they punt it. This starts a long drive for the Rams. Williams goes up for 9 yards. That's a 2-minute warning. Williams goes up for two more yards. That's a first down. Majority of the time is no huddle. Matthew Stafford goes up for Nakua. If I butchered, I apologize. He gets 9 yards out of this one. Allen gets 4-yard catch out of this one. First and 10 for the Rams. Matthew Stafford for Williams for 11 yards. That gives him the first. Stafford passes incomplete for Robinson. They go shotgun. Williams catches a 12-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. They call a timeout. Matthew Stafford gets sacked. He fumbles the football, but Los Angeles did recover it. So either way, it would be 2nd and 19. Matthew Stafford pass a really thrown deep for Nakua. If I butchered, I do apologize. For 16 yards. So 3rd and 3 pass. Actually they spiked the ball to stop the clock, and Cardi, his career long 55 yards, and it became a 10-6 game for the Dolphins. So that's halftime, up by 4. First drive goes to the Rams. Williams goes up for 9 yards. 2nd and 1, Williams goes for 3 more yards. 1st and 10, Stafford goes deep for Nakua for 17 yards. Williams goes up for 8 yards. There'll be a injury on Kendall Fuller, and Fuller would not come back for the rest of the game. It looks like it's a concussion. He's going to be on concussion protocol. What is it with this team that just keeps getting concussion? First we had Tua, we had Achane, and now Kendall Fuller. I hope it's nothing serious, and I hope Kendall Fuller does come back as soon as possible. I'm praying for you, Kendall Fuller. Hopefully it's nothing serious. We'll keep you in our prayers, man. So that's an 8-yard rush for Williams. 2nd and 7. Williams goes up 5 yards. That's good for the first. 1st and 10. There will be a high snap. There'll be a high snap, and Matthew Stafford was trying to, do a little run play, but that was a bad handoff to Williams, I think, and that ball went back at the 37, and Stafford gets sacked by Jordan Brooks for minus 4 yards. So not the way that you wanted to start that third quarter, right? So it became a 2nd and 23. Williams goes up for just 2 yards. 3rd and 21. Stafford passes to Nakua just for 4 yards, or 5 yards rather. 4th and 16. They elected to kick a field goal at this point. It would be a 52-yard field goal, and he would knock that field goal down. Unfortunately, this is where problems where really begin its toll for the Rams. There'll be a false start on Limmer for the Rams, so that backs them up 5 yards. It's 4th and 21 at the 39. It would be a 57-yard field goal, and that field goal went wide to the right. So I think we established that, right? So Dolphins, can they capitalize on this missed field goal? Well, Achane goes up for 2 yards. 2nd and 6, Tua passing to Jonnu Smith for 10 yards. 1st and 10, Achane goes up for a yard. 2nd and 9, Tua's pass to Durham Smythe for 6 yards. 3rd and 3, that amazing catch and run by Jonnu Smith for 33 yards, almost scoring a touchdown. But they were stopped at the 1. They called timeout, probably because of play clock. But immediately after that timeout, Tua's passing it to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. The PAT is good, and their celebration is a wrestling celebration. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Hill and Odell Beckham Jr. did a wrestling celebration, and somebody went 1, 2, 3. This team is so unserious. I'm sorry. They're not serious. They're not. But they got the touchdown. It's only Tyreek Hill's 2nd touchdown catch of the season, folks. There was a penalty from this kick. There was a roughing the kicker, which would be enforced between downs. So it'll be so if there's a touchback, it would have been like last year's touchback, which they would have started off at the 25. But in this drive, the Rams, it was a long drive, 11 plays. Matthew Stafford's pass incomplete. 2nd and 10. Pass short for Cooper Kupp for 5 yards. 3rd and 5. Passing into Cooper Kupp for 17 yards. 1st and 10. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Pass middle to Johnson for 10 yards. That gives him the first. 1st 10. Williams goes up for 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Nakua for 12 yards. 1st and 10. Williams goes up for 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Williams losing 2 yards. 3rd and 7, Matthew Stafford had nowhere to go, and he was sacked 12 yards by Javon Holland. This defense was really, really fantastic tonight. That ends the 3rd quarter, and it starts off the 4th quarter with the 53-yard field goal, which this one was good. It's a 17-9 game right now. Miami starts off at their 30. There would be a passing into Julian Hill. That was incomplete pass, but there would be a penalty on Brown, unnecessary roughness for 15 yards. And this is kind of where Eichenberg shoves him from behind. And then Brown coming in with the helmet like this. A little headbutt to Eichenberg. And that would be a 15-yard penalty. It was a strange thing. I feel like both of them could have been called for a penalty, but they chose to penalize Los Angeles this time. Wow, I know, I'm shocked. Los Angeles getting in trouble for once. Anyway, 1st and 10, Tua passing to John Smith for 2 yards. 2nd and 8, Achane goes up the middle for 5 yards. 3rd and 3, Tua's passing into Achane for 10 yards. It was a brilliant pass. 1st and 10, that pass was not impressive. That was incomplete. 2nd and 10, there will be a timeout for Miami because of play clock. 2nd and 10, Tua gets sacked 9 yards from Turner. 3rd and 19, Tua scrambles to the right, and he finds Mostert as he was running, and Mostert was able to pick up that first down. He got a 25-yard reception. He was running down on the right side, and he got the first down. There would be a penalty, however, but it was on Los Angeles. It was on Los Angeles for a defensive hold, but that penalty would wind up being declined. So good decision to leave that alone, and we got a 25-yard reception, first down. Now, this would have been a first down anyway, but this would have been at the 37. We prefer if it would be at the LA 22. Achane goes up for 2 yards. 2nd and 8, a shotgun. Waddle losing a yard. 3rd and 9, Tua's pass short for Waddle for just 2 yards. Field goal unit coming out. Sanders kicks a 37-yard to get back up to make it 20-9 game. This situation for the Dolphins, it feels like you don't want to give up too many big plays. You have the clock. You want to use that. You want to be able to let them use that clock. Now, in this situation, they were committing big plays. Matthew Stafford is throwing it deep for Cooper Kupp for 19 yards, so that's a bad stop. They're not huddling. They want to try to make this comeback. Stafford goes up for Allen for 5 yards. Kader Kohu with the knee-to-knee contact. It looked like he was hurt, like really badly. But thankfully, he did return 2 plays later. So thankfully, Kohu was okay. Nothing serious. Now, Stafford goes up for Nakua. If I butchered, I do apologize. I tried my best. For 21 yards. Bad news. 1st and 10, Kohu does come back. Stafford gets Cooper Kupp for 15 more yards. 1st and 10 at the Miami 10. Yeah, this is where I'm worried. 1st and 10, that pass incomplete. 2nd and goal. That pass was short for Johnson for 6 yards. 3rd and 4th, that pass to the end zone is incomplete. And they kick the field goal, to 22-yard field goal to make it 20-12. How does Miami respond? Well, you want to get a first down. You want to get a first down or two, milk that clock, and do not let the Rams have enough clock to make this comeback. Wright goes up for 5 yards. 2nd and 5, Wright losing a yard. So what do you do here? A shotgun formation. Tua passing it to Odell Beckham Jr. This is where I said Beckham did not play badly. That was a big catch from Odell Beckham Jr. He quickly turned around. He realized the ball was coming his way, and a quick catch, and he got the first down. A huge first down for the Dolphins. It was an 11-yard catch. First and 10 at the Miami 45. Tua's passing deep for Malik Washington for 17 yards. That was a splendid catch by Malik Washington. Absolutely amazing catch by Malik Washington. It was a 17-yarder. First and 10, Achane goes for 5 yards. Second and 5, Achane losing a yard. So now the Rams will call a timeout. Tua's passing it to Hill for just 3 yards. LA calls their second timeout, and Sanders kicks a 50-yard field goal to make it 23-12. And we're back up by 2 possessions. That was a huge kick. Great kick by Jason Sanders. So what does this come down to? Defense, defense, defense. Matthew Stafford passing it to Williams for 7 yards. Second and 3. Matthew Stafford passing it to Allen only for 2 yards. I thought he got the first initially. 31, he would get the first down, Williams. However, there will be a hold on the Rams. That will back them up, no play. But they would get the first down anyway because Allen gets 13 yards out of that play, roughly the same spot. 2-minute warning now. Stafford's pass incomplete for Williams after the 2-minute timeout, or 2-minute warning, same thing. Second and 10, Stafford pass to Nakua for 10 yards. First and 10. Passing it deep, no huddle, by the way, for Robinson for 23 yards at the Miami 24. Stafford's pass incomplete for Johnson. Second and 10. Stafford's passing it to Johnson for 9 yards. Third and 1. Williams goes up for 3 yards. That would get them the first. Clock is ticking. They're not using a timeout. First down and 10. Passing it towards the end zone. That pass was incomplete. Kader Kuhu with the thumbs down celebration. Second and 10, another pass is incomplete in the end zone. And they want a holding call. They're not going to get it. And in third and 10, they elected to kick a field goal for 31 yards. So in the effort with 40 seconds left of the game, you get the onside kick. And at this point, it's 23-15. You get the onside kick to try to get one more chance to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. They did an onside kick, and Riley got the onside kick, and that's it. Tua kneels, and finally, the Dolphins with a victory on prime time, ending their 3-game losing streak. All the games, well, actually most of the games, were winnable games. The Colts game was very winnable. The Cardinals game was definitely winnable. The Bills, not winnable, but they played better than I thought. And they got it done here at Los Angeles, and they beat the Rams 23-15, not allowing a touchdown. When we look at the team stats, very important here. The Rams got 20 first downs. However, they're 3-12 in third down efficiencies. So Dolphins were doing their job on third downs. It's incredible. In total yardage, the Rams had 327 yards. We have 238. Not bad. 171 passing yards from Tua. 257 for Matthew Stafford. Both quarterbacks got a interception thrown, but Tua has one touchdown pass. The other one was a rushing play. Technically, it was an end-around rushing play from Malik Washington, so that doesn't count. But the entire game, I remember last year I was complaining about this, but we only have one penalty the entire game. It was that, I didn't even go over this, but it was one of the earlier punts in the first quarter where it went out of bounds. It was a play, it was the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty where one of our players went out of bounds and did not come back inbounds, which was unnecessary. If that penalty did not happen, I would have talked about a perfect game for the Dolphins. But We got one penalty. It was just for 15 yards. Just one penalty. Meanwhile, the Rams got 6 penalties. I know I am completely shocked by this. There was 2 turnovers, 1 each for fumble, 1 each for interceptions. It was a pretty bizarre time at that second quarter. It was interesting. Tua played. In terms of scoring, yeah, he got a touchdown pass. Matthew Stafford has 293 yards in total of passing. But the thing is, there were sacks and there was interceptions. Williams with 15 carries, 62 yards. HN with 12 with 37. No running backs have. Those running backs did not score a touchdown. We have a receiving touchdown. It was Tyreek Hill. They did that wrestling celebration. It was funny. So with this win, the Dolphins are actually in second place in the AFC East. I'm not joking you. Second place in AFC East with a 3-6 record. The other 2 teams have 3-7. They have yet to go on a bye week. And for the Patriots, I think their bye week is next week. Let me double check real quickly. Oh wow, they're not yet. Their bye week is December. Wow. This in early part of December. That's crazy. But we have a pretty comfortable schedule coming up. We got the Raiders coming in town. That could be easy settle in. And then we got the Patriots who beat the Bears. Well, we'll see what happens. If you can win those 2 games, you would have reached a 5-6 record. A 5-6 record. And you got a really tough game at Lambeau against the Packers on Thanksgiving. That game might be tough. That might be an L for the Dolphins, which would be a 5-7 record. And then you got the Jets, who surprisingly not having a great season. With Aaron Rodgers, there's a problem going on. That you could probably beat the Jets there. But the Texans and the Niners, they're really tough games, especially against the Niners, or the Texans rather. You might be able to beat the Browns, and you might beat the Jets on the last week. But who knows what's going to happen? Time will tell. But the Dolphins, for some reason, they're not out. They're not quite out yet. But if you need to make this to the playoffs, 1 or 2 things have to happen: win out, and hope the other teams fall down to the L's columns. So that's going to do it for this one, folks. Thank God we won this game. It was a dreadful week last week. This will, ease the pain a little bit. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for this one. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content, because Miami Tuesday has your back. And when he does, hit it right there with the fear team you deserve. Let's go Dolphins. Thank God we got this dub. And I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Good night, everybody.